All right, so this is the first video of the respraying. I decided to respray it. Yeah, so I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going to take it to any panel beater or anything like that. The panel beater who did it before put a lot of body filler. So I've already been at it with a grinder with a flap disc to take off some of that body filler because the car's been stored for about 12 years and my dad didn't cover it properly. He was covering it with pieces of tarpaulin and water and everything. Rain was getting underneath there and it's gone underneath the paint. And you can see here where it started to rust under there and lift. So I've got to get all of that off and then re-prime it and try and get rid of these uneven things from the flap disc. Re-prime it and respray it basically. But I'm going to do it the same midnight blue. Metallic midnight blue that it was. Well, it was actually a light blue from the factory, and then I did it this midnight blue about 12 years ago. And as I said, the car's been standing ever since. The motor was in pieces. I don't know if you've seen my other videos. So the motor's in, the gearbox is in. It's got the Skyline gearbox. So that's the original L16 block with a gas flowed head. And the side draft Webers, these are 45s with the bigger intake manifold, and then smaller pulleys. I just need a battery, but I've started it. This is the wiring loom here. I haven't connected everything because obviously I've still got to paint, but normally what I do is I just put some fuel in here just to run it a bit. That's a fuel pump, which I've run it, went around the block. It was okay. The wheels were a bit bound up because the brake pads were stuck because they were rusted. So anyway, I've sorted all of that out. So that side of the build is done. Underneath was done. We put this stone chip here underneath, all over underneath, and we went through the whole suspension. We did the wheel bearings and everything about 12 years ago. So the thing that needs to be fixed now is this paint job, which as you can see, I'm just going to take it all off wherever it's rusted. Here on the roof, there's some spots there was rust. So I went with a flap disc and I ground it off. This windscreen rubber, there's a new rubber kit that's available with the new windscreen rubbers, the front and the back, all the door rubbers, and the boot rubber. I think it's $300 and something. So once I'm done with this, I'm just going to mask here because I'm doing it the same color. And then once I'm done, hopefully the new rubbers will overlap whatever ridge or whatever from painting will be there. But if the worst comes to the worst, I can always just sand it flat or whatever. So I've got to just get the handles off. All this trim is already off. I never put it back. The bonnet, I don't know, those guys, they didn't do a very good job putting primer on here. As you can see, it's got rust there. The paint was very, very thin. It's just peeling off in some places. Very, very thin paint. So I've got to go aggressive. All the rust spots I've got to get out. And then I've got to go with the sandpaper and sand it all, the whole car. Sand everything smooth. Probably start with 220 and just get all that paint off, whatever I can. And then I need a new lock set. There's a lock set that comes with the two front doors, and then the back boot I'll have to get a different key. But there's an ignition that I can buy. It's online on eBay, I think in Thailand or something like that. The ignition switch for this. So these are the original back seats, which I want to recover. I'm going to probably, I was thinking of doing the interior with ostrich leather, brown ostrich leather. I know it might sound a bit, I don't know what's the word, ostentatious, but I think it's going to look good with this dark blue. I wouldn't want to do the interior black. because that would just make it too dark. But I think with a midnight blue and then that brown ostrich leather, those front seats, I'm not going to be using those. I want to get bucket seats. As you can see, the door rubbers are not in here. So that kit comes with all these window rubbers and then this back quarter window rubbers and then the door rubbers. So that's all going to be nice and plush once I'm done with that. Then I've got door cards, but they need to be upholstered. And then the dash, this crack piece here on the dash, I'm going to be doing in that ostrich leather as well. And then putting back the original wooden steering wheel. It's a big wooden steering wheel. I'm not going to be too aggressive with the bucket seats. I'm not going to put a roll cage or anything like that, because I want it to be a little bit of a cruising Sunday drive type of car. These cars are too collectible and rare to be racing in this day and age. In the 90s, we would have raced them, but nowadays, I don't think it's a good idea to be racing this car. So, like I said, I'm just going to be putting nice bucket seats, also reupholstering that in the ostrich, brown ostrich leather. And then I'll see what to do about the carpets and whatever. But my main priority now is to get rid of all of this rust. And get a fresh coat of paint on there. So I've got to go with a rasp, the flatting rasp. Some of these places here weren't even. You can see I've had to take off all this body filler. So I want all these panels to line up. The doors must all line up. They must match. Wherever there's body filler, like here, there's a bit of a dent here. I've got to push that out. But yeah, so I got my work cut out for me now. I've been procrastinating on it for a long time. But I think I need to do it. So right now I'm just getting all this front end off, the bumpers and everything. And then I've got to get the door handles off. And then I'm going to be grinding whatever I can off with a flap disc. And then get that flatting rasp and make sure everything is flat. And then go with the sandpaper, the 220. And then go finer and finer. And then put on the primer. Fill where I need to fill with some body filler. But then try and use as least as I can. Try and do it the proper way and build it up with primer. Sand the primer, do it again with primer, sand it like that until I get a good base. And then put about 4 coats of base coat on. And then clear coat. Sand it and then clear coat. So, yeah, as you can see here, they didn't do a very good job. This was the original color here. It's quite playful, but I don't think I'm going to go with that playfulness with the engine that's there. It's got the Skyline 5-speed in there, the old Skyline, the original Skyline, and there's 2-liter pistons. It's rebored, so each cylinder is 500 cc's. So from a 1600, it's now a 2-liter, and then it's got a stroker crank. It's got racing pistons. What else? Those Webers, the gas flowed head has got big valves, and big springs on the valves. And then there's a vernier pulley here on the thing where you can adjust the timing. So yes, I don't think that playful light blue is going to work well with it. I'm going to go with that same dark blue and the brown ostrich leather, toned down interior, not like a racing interior. There is going to be some upholstery, and it's not going to have racing seat belts and roll cage and all of that. It's just going to be a nice show-off car. So yes, now it's time to get started.